Hey moms, you made it. I'm so glad you're here. You are here for stage 3 of the Warrior Flow series that I've been starting just to give us a little more familiarity with our warrior postures, bring our heart rates up a little bit, get a little bit of a good sweat going on. You may have noticed if you took series 1 and series 2, or stage 1, stage 2, I should say, of the series. Stage 2 was a little bit longer because we're adding some postures on. So the same deal here for stage 3, a little bit longer. We're going to incorporate everything we learned in stage 1 and stage 2. This is a little bit faster paced. So I would strongly encourage a quick warm up if you haven't already done so. We'll go through a couple brief stretches, but a 5-minute warm up. Check out some of my 5-minute warm up content, and then come back into this for the full warrior flow. So again, warrior postures really bring the heat. They're really fun. And it's just kind of a great way to get a little sweat on midday, first thing in the morning, before you wind down at night. So hopefully this will be helpful. All right, so let's just get started. We're going to start seated for this one today. Nice, easy seat Sukhasana. Like I said, couple little introductory stretches. Let's find that comfortable seated position. If you want to prop a block underneath your hips, sometimes that can be helpful. I have very tight hips. So again, helps bring the knees a little bit closer to the ground. Totally optional, totally up to you. And take a minute just to come into our breath. Maybe close your eyes. Maybe set an intention for today. Maybe you're here because you're trying something new. Maybe you're here to close out the series. Whatever got you here, be grateful that you made it. That's the hardest part sometimes. And take a nice cleansing breath in through the nose. Notice any stiffness or anything that you're holding on to. See if we can just let it go for the next 20-25 minutes. When you're ready, flutter your eyes open. Take a nice big inhale, bring the arms up overhead. Exhale, drop the right hands down to the mat. Left arm reaches overhead for a side body stretch. And create some space in between each of those ribs. Inhale the arms back up overhead. Drop the left hand down. Right arm reaches across. And again, side body stretch. Pay attention to your shoulders. Make sure they're not scrunched up on your ears. Try to shrug those away a little bit. And inhale, rise up. Let's take a little bit of a seated twist here. So left hand, I'm going to remove my block for this. Just makes it a little easier. Left hand comes to the right knee. Right arm supporting the spine, sitting up nice and tall on your inhale. And twisting on the exhale. And on your next inhale, coming back up to center, twisting to the left side this time. Right hand to your left knee. Maybe glancing over that left shoulder as you twist. And inhale, rise up to center. Exhale to heart center. Come onto your hands and knees in a tabletop. We'll take a few rounds of cat-cow here just to warm up the spine a bit. Quick alignment check, shoulders stacked over your wrists, hips stacked over your knees. On your inhale, drop the belly, lift your gaze, arch your spine. Exhale, rounding the spine, pushing away with your hands and your feet. Inhale, drop the belly, lift. And exhale, round. Let's just do 2 more rounds of this. Inhale, lift, arch. Exhale, round. One more time, lift. And exhale, round. All right, meet me in that neutral spine. Tuck the toes, send the hips up and back, downward dog. Take a minute to pedal the legs here, especially if this is the first of your movement today. I always like to come up onto my tiptoes and rock back and forth a little bit. And then find stillness in that downward dog. Walk your toes up to the top of your mat. And grounding down with your feet, we rise up. Extended mountain pose. And exhale through heart center. All right, So let's get started. We'll pick up where we left off in stage 2, go through those postures once or twice, and then we'll add on a little bit, okay? For our adding on today, we're gonna add to the end of the flow a humble warrior, which could be a little stressful on the shoulders. So I'll show you some modifications, and we'll come to that in a few minutes, okay? So starting with our feet about hips distance apart, inhale, we lift. Take a step back with the left toes, right foot forward in our warrior 1. And let's just take a moment here to settle in. Checking on your alignment, shoulders stacked over hips. Nice soft bend in that right knee, and left toes pointing towards the top left corner. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. Big inhale. Exhale, opening up to that warrior 2. Nothing changes in the front leg, just opening up the hip, opening up the back toes. From here, let's flip that right palm, reach up, peaceful warrior. And on your exhale, come back through our warrior 2, bringing the forearm to the knee for extended side angle. Or maybe you drop that arm down, maybe you grab a block and use your block for a little additional support. Left arm reaches way over top. And rising back up to our warrior 2, straighten out that front knee, keep your block right where it is, reaching forward with your right hand. We tick-tock our arms 6 o'clock. And maybe glance up at your fingertips, if that feels okay on your neck. Maybe just looking straight at me, maybe glancing down at your block. Soft bend in the right knee as we come back up, pivoting our left toes back towards the front. We're going to take that balancing posture, warrior 3. If you tried it during stage 2, then you know what I'm talking about. Could be handy to have a block or 2 at the top of your mat just to help with a little bit of balance. But when you're ready, coming up onto those left toes, straightening out the front knee, and just start to tilt forward. Again, if it just feels okay to lift the toes up a couple inches, then stay right there. Or maybe extending, reaching with your hands towards the front of the room and towards the back of the room with your toes. Nice and slowly, we drop the left toes back to that warrior 1. Frame the foot with your hands. Swing your right leg around into our plank or modified plank. And let's take a little vinyasa here. So exhale, lowering down. Inhale, coming forward in our upward dog back bend. And exhale, downward dog. Stay here for a breath. And then we walk our toes up to meet our hands in a forward fold. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands through heart center. Beautiful. Stay right where you are. Just going to switch sides. Starting again in our mountain pose. Drop your palms down, open up. Take a nice step back with the right toes this time. Left foot forward. Inhale the arms up in our warrior 1. Big inhale here. And exhale, opening up to that warrior 2. Again, shoulders stacked over hips. Hips are just open in our warrior 2. Glancing over my left fingertips. Flip that palm. Inhale. Left arm comes to the sky for our peaceful warrior. And on the exhale, we come back through warrior 2. Extended side angle. Rising back up to our warrior 2. Straightening out the left leg, reaching forward. Show me that triangle. Nice stretch of the inner thighs here. And your choice, what you do, where you look. Soften the left knee, come back up to our warrior 2. Pivoting forward. And as we straighten out the left leg, we come up onto those right toes and start to take that balancing pose. Warrior 3, reaching for the front of the room with your hands, stretching that back leg towards the back of the room. Nice and slowly, we drop the right toes down, come back to our warrior 1. Exhale the hands down. Left foot comes back to meet the right, lower. Inhale, lift in your upward dog. And exhale, downward dog. Nice and slow, we walk the toes up to the top of your mat. Hang heavy here for a moment. In our forward fold, grounding down with your feet, we rise up and exhale through heart center. All right, now that we're good and warmed up, we're going to move on. Just going to grab a sip of my water here for a second. Feel free to do the same. Like I said, those warrior postures really get the heat going and start to bring the heart rate up. So we're going to add on to it in our final stages here of our warrior flow. So again, starting the same way we just did, our humble warrior will be the final posture in the flow. So hopefully this looks a little bit familiar to us. Opening up in our mountain pose. Take a step back with the left toes. Inhale the arms up overhead, warrior one. Big inhale here. Exhale, opening up the hips, warrior two. Flip that right palm, inhale, lift, peaceful warrior. And exhale, bringing the hands down, extended side angle. Inhale, we rise back up to that warrior two, straightening out the leg, reaching forward with the right, and dropping the right hand down, triangle pose. Take a breath here. Soften the knee as we rise back up to that warrior two, pivoting the left toes forward, warrior one. Start with the balance. Hinging forward, reaching those arms. Find a little spot on the floor to bring your gaze to that can really help with balance. And then nice and slow, bring the left toes back, nice and controlled. Here's where that humble warrior comes in. So let's start. Bring your hands to the low back. Legs are exactly the same as they were in our warrior one. Option to stay right here. Okay, opening up the chest a bit, opening up the shoulders. This is a great place to start. You can also interlace the fingers. If you have your fingers interlaced, again, can an option to stay right here, or maybe start to slowly bow down, dropping your torso inside the right leg. Let your head and your neck hang heavy. Keep your humble warrior right here, or extend the arms up overhead. And then this is where I said there's a bit of a shoulder stretch here. So if this doesn't feel good in your shoulders, then just keep your fingers interlaced on the low spine. Nice and slowly, using the strength in your legs, we rise back up. Letting go of your hands, step forward with the left foot. Inhale the arms up overhead, and exhale, fold forward. Maybe just let the head hang heavy here for a moment. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Grounding down with your feet, rising all the way up, extended mountain pose, and exhale through center. All right, switching over to the opposite side. Inhale the arms overhead, stepping back with that right foot, warrior one. Nice big inhale here. And exhale, opening up to that warrior two. Flipping the left palm, reach up, peaceful warrior. And exhale, coming through warrior two, extended side angle. Feeling nice and loose, everything's opened up now. Ready for the day. Rising back up to that warrior two, straighten out the left, reaching forward with your left hand, dropping the arms down, triangle pose. I once heard that you should imagine that when you're in a triangle posture, your body is inside a toaster and you can't touch either side or you get burned. That really helps me visualize the posture. Bending in that left leg, come back up to our warrior two. Pivot forward to warrior one. Let's take the balance, coming up onto the toes. And if you've had enough of balance today, then just stay here, tipping forward, keeping the right toes attached to the mat. Or if you really want to challenge yourself with your balance, extending forward. For me, I have much better balance on my right leg than my left, so this is a bit of a challenge. You can see my wobbles probably. Dropping the right toes back down, warrior one, bring the hands behind to the low spine. Again, option to stay here. Interlace the hands, stay right here, opening up the shoulders a bit. Maybe bow down in front of that left leg. Maybe extending the hands up overhead. And this is our humble warrior. Really feel the strength in your legs here. supporting you, your feet grounding you. And slowly we rise up, release the bind, step forward with the right. Inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Cross one foot behind the other. Bend the knees, and nice and slowly we sit down. We're going to come all the way down to our backs this time, letting the heart slowly start to come down, heart rate come down. Maybe bring your knees into your chest. Rock side to side. Give yourself a little back massage. Drop the feet down. Cross your right ankle over your left knee for a figure four. Option to stay right here if that feels like a good stretch for you in the hips. Or maybe bring the left foot up off the mat. Interlace your fingers behind your left thigh or in front of your left shin. Flex the feet, protect the knees. Try to relax your back, your shoulders, your face, your neck. And breathe into that hip. A lot of work with the legs today, so let's give them a little love. Drop the left foot down, bring that right knee into your chest, extend your left leg out nice and long. Maybe roll the ankle a little bit. And bring that right knee over to the left side for a spinal twist. One of my favorite ways to close out a practice. If it feels okay on your neck, bring your gaze to the right side. Just feel every vertebrae in your neck wringing out. And slowly come back to center. Bring both knees into your chest again. Rock side to side if that felt good. Drop the right foot down. Left ankle crosses over the right knee this time. Same figure four as on the other side. Option to stay right here or lift. And again, either way, make sure you're flexing the feet. And relax your head and your neck. Maybe close your eyes or soften your gaze. Just feel that good stretch in the hips. Extend that right leg out long. Bring the left knee into your chest. Maybe a little ankle roll. And then breathe in. On the exhale, bring the left knee to the right side. And maybe bring your gaze over the left shoulder if that feels okay on your neck. And start to unravel. Bring the knees into the chest one more time. Any final movements that you'd like to take, whatever calls to you, maybe a happy baby or legs up the wall. If you're at home and you have a wall nearby, that could be a really great way to close out a practice. Whatever feels good. And bring the knees into your chest one more time. Big squeeze. And exhale for Shavasana. Maybe throw a blanket over yourself or a hoodie, socks. Let your arms hang down by your sides. Feet at the corners of your mat. And just nice and slow, starting at your feet, try to relax all the muscles in your toes, your feet, your ankles. Bringing awareness to your legs, any tension you might be holding there, into your hips and your glutes. Feel the connection to your mat and release any tension. Your chest and your shoulders. Just let them melt into the mat. Your arms. And your head. Feel free to stay in your Shavasana for as long as you need. No rush here at all. When you're ready, find a comfortable seat on your mat. Inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, let it go. Again, inhale in and exhale. One more nice big breath of gratitude and exhale. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope that you enjoyed this series. Feel free to check it out. Take it again and again and again. Share it, post it, leave a comment. Let me know if you liked it. I'm looking forward to whatever comes up next. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so, so that you can stay tuned with all of these great series that I'm hoping to post. Okay? Thanks, guys. Have a great rest of your day.